So I was hoping to bring this episode back when we were on the verge of promotion to the Premier League, except we've already confirmed promotion. Welcome back everyone to Unemployed to Legend episode 8 Club 2. My name is Craig and come up in today's episode, as mentioned, we've already been promoted from the Championship, which is a little bit awkward because I was hoping to show you that in this episode, but I kinda got the maths wrong when I did the playthrough last night. Regardless though, if you're happy that we've been promoted, if you're excited for the Premier League once again, make sure to hit the like button down below and click subscribe, and be ready for when we hit the Premier League next season. But before that though, we have two games coming up, one against Sheffield United in the FA Cup 5th round, and then home against Bournemouth at home in the league as we try and win the Championship title. So since you were last with me, the form has been really good, and I should have kind of seen earlier on that we could be promoted when we came up against Birmingham in the last game. Unfortunately, I got my maths a little wrong when, with 10 games to go before that game, we were actually 27 points clear, and we could have won promotion in the next game, which we did, had West Ham and Stoke basically not won their games. For some reason in my head, I was thinking we were only 17 points ahead because I should never do maths on a Saturday evening. So we beat Birmingham 4-1. As for West Ham, they lost 3-2 against Huddersfield, and Stoke drew against Preston. I believe Brentford, they got smacked by Hull 4-0, so Brentford didn't win. Only Middlesbrough won, but no, Middlesbrough drew actually against Portsmouth, so none of the playoff chasing teams had actually won their games, so that was why we then won promotion, because we're a solid 30 points ahead with only 27 points left to play for. So the only team theoretically who can catch us now is Bournemouth, and that will be for the Championship title. Bournemouth will be looking to secure promotion themselves, but after we face them, I hopefully won't have to worry about them too much, but we'll see how the game goes against them today anyway. But first up, we do have an FA Cup clash against Sheffield United, the 5th round, which is the minimum the board wanted. So let's get straight to it. This is a very good test for us to go up against a Premier League outfit. Sheffield United are a mid-table team, so let's see how we do against them. Is it going to be the same level performance that we had against Fulham, or will it be slightly worse off? We're about to find out anyway. In fact, I just realised I haven't actually done the team sheet properly. I've completely forgot to do it. Give me a moment while I sort this out. Right, the team sheets are finally ready. I've sorted out the first 11 and the bench. So this is going to be the starting 11 we'll send out against Sheffield United. It's a heavily rotated squad, but I just want to give some players a bit of a rest after quite a few games in the last few weeks. So Backman in goal. Valentin returns to the side at left back with Quaresma and Vargas in central defence. In fact, if I could just swap these two around. Put Quaresma as a ball-playing defender, because he hasn't done that role in quite some time. Tiedemann Mengi at right back with Downs and Stiller in central midfield. By the way, Stiller has actually been very good so far for us. He's only played a handful of games, mostly off the bench, but he's been very impressive in what he's done so far. I hope he can continue this for the rest of the season and going into the Premier League. I mean, he does have that potential to be a good Premier League player in the future. He's only 22 years old, so he can still heavily improve. He's quite an all-rounder, which is very nice to have in the squad. So here's hoping for a good performance from him today. Downs and Stiller in central midfield, in case I didn't say that. Willock on the left wing, Lynch on the right wing. Shus Alba, who's had a very good start to life so far here at Norwich. Not many goals, to be fair, but he's an assist machine thus far. 4 assists from 12 games, 6 of them off the bench, to be fair. And they all come in the league, actually. So 4 assists from 9 games, and a goal as well. Not to be sniffed at. That was a very good piece of business for £600,000 in January. He's only 20 years old. Again, he's going to improve a lot. Hopefully he'll continue that in the Premier League. He does have that potential for Premier League a good Premier League player potential as well. And Mubayiva up front. He hasn't actually scored since the last FA Cup game, or last FA Cup tie against Birmingham in the opening 90 seconds, so he's hoping he can grab a goal today. It's not a guarantee, of course, because obviously we're coming up against Premier League opposition. We're going to pump the fists. We are the underdogs here. I'm just going to go with that talk because it is the sort of thing we're probably going to go with next season. Obviously now that we're up into the Premier League. And there we go, quite a few players looking inspired, hopefully. That helps them out today. But if we're going to go with the underdog story next season, we'll start that here in the FA Cup because we are officially now underdogs. We're into the 5th round. 3/4 of the team left in the competition are all Premier League outfits. So from here on out, we will see how the team actually performs. And Sheffield United have the first highlight of the game here, and they trying to get off a corner. And unfortunately, the cross going in looked like they were going to score, but thankfully they didn't. And straight from the goal kick, we have the chance. No, we don't, because Valentin has just given the ball away, but Vargas thankfully clears up very, very well. Shus Alba, who's spraying balls around. There's Mubayiva, who should have scored. Lovely little ball through from Alba. I've noticed he's been doing that a fair bit this season. His through balls are what has been leading to his assists. It's been an absolute joy to watch Alba, to be honest with you. You can tell he's come from La Masia Academy because so comfortable on the ball. It's been an absolute joy to watch. Alzate's been out of the squad for that very reason. He hasn't actually played maybe once actually in the last month, and that's all because I've preferred Alba. Alzate, he's finally got an assist for us, but he just has not performed. And for £18 million, it was a bit of a panic purchase because I thought, oh gosh, we've lost Will Hughes, and I knew that we needed to actually bring someone of quality in. I think I'd already done that anyway, as Ivan Toney shoots just wide. And we'd already done that, but it was through Shus Alba, who I'd bought before January. Oh, what the heck was that? Spackman, he's got a habit of doing that for me, against me. Oh! He's back in the squad today just to appease him, and now I kind of know why I went for Verbruja. I am leaning heavily to... Look at that. Oh, that's just... Wow. Oh, Batman did that against me in the Premier League last season. That was the reason I dropped him. Like a bad habit. Who did I drop him for? Jordan Archer at Wigan. And the sad part is we haven't played badly. It's just stupidity like that from our goalkeeper. And I've played Verbruja in the league more often than not because of stuff like this. Austria's number one, ladies and gentlemen. It's just not that reliable. To be fair, all season when I've seen him with the ball, I've actually always been anxious because I have that mistake from last season in the back of my head. 1-0 down at half time. Really, it's been quite even. It's just a stupid mistake that's kind of cost us. Right, let's pump some fists. It's time to dig in. You've not been bad. No, you haven't. I believe in you. They are motivated, and it's clear we can compete at this sort of level. It's just stupidity more than anything. I've just noticed they do have an attacking midfielder, actually. It might be wise for us to play with that defensive midfielder just to cover them off. So what I am going to do is I'm going to bring Davenport on for Shus Alba. Alba's played a lot of games recently, to be fair. Davenport's going to slot in to that defensive midfielder role, and he is going to mark said attacking midfielder. There you go. Hold position, that's right. And really just allow Downs to play that deep line playmaker role. No worries about the guy behind him because Davenport will hopefully mark him out of the game. I am thinking, who else? Lynch is actually inspired, so we'll give him another 15-20 minutes. We're just going to drop a little bit of encouragement as well. But Sheffield United, yes, their XG is a lot higher than ours, but I believe part of that is because of the goal that they were basically gifted. Let's just be brutally honest here. 70 minutes gone, nothing has really happened. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We are going to bring on Exposito, deep line playmaker role, and no, you know what? Mubayiva is going to have the rest of the game. Ferdy is going to come on, I know he doesn't seem that most reliable when getting a goal, but he does create actual chances, in all fairness to him. So, Sheffield United with the corner, unfortunately, and that might just be the game. George Baldock, 2-0 with 12 minutes to go. It's looking like a long way back from here, to be honest with you, but it's a bit of a shame. We have kind of competed. That scoreline, I do feel that kind of flatters them a little bit, and okay, that definitely flatters them. Come on, boys. Alright, I went to attacking. Alright, I admit, I got it wrong. It's our first defeat in a long time. Hopefully we can bounce back against Bournemouth after this, as there's another highlight straight from the off. Okay, that went nowhere. Come on, boys. You're not giving up already, surely. I say giving up already. You've not, like, literally just given in. But I feel like that is the case, and Sheffield United are just literally going to... Yeah, they're just ripping. Yeah, they're just ripping. The game has just decided... You've had your luck. You've had your chips. You've had your promotion. This is what you're facing next season, which kind of worries me. I don't want to view that. But for goodness sake, just... lay off a little bit of game, maybe? I know I've rotated for this game, but that's purely because of all the heavy football that they've been doing recently. It doesn't help when we're just not that direct with the ball, and there is Willock, and that's a little bit of dignity. Willock scoring again, luckily. All it really does is just gives us a little bit of dignity in the scoreline, which... yeah, we kind of deserved. We did deserve at least one goal from this match. Quaresma has had an absolute stinker today. That's his worst performance for us, and that's easily our worst performance of the season. Well, that's our cup run over, isn't it? I'm far from pleased with that result. Yeah, because I know we went with the underdog story, the underdog team talk, but I didn't expect us to get walloped 4-1. Wigan are into the quarterfinals, so that's quite a run for them. Shobolev and Ricky J. Jones scoring for them. I wonder if I can nab one of them for next season. We'll find out in the summer anyway. Next up, Bournemouth, as we aim for the championship title. Hopefully we can put in a better performance against them. Second game now against Bournemouth, and this is a much stronger team that I'm going to be putting out this time. So we'll just go through it quickly. Verbuja is back in goal after the horror show from Backman in the last game. Gonzalez, Mavropanos, Vargas and Aarons all in the back four. Vargas is actually in because Mengi is suspended for 2 matches and Quaresma's still got a 1-match suspension to serve after too many yellow cards for them so far this season. Exposito and Davenport at the base in midfield. They've got a nice link between the two of them. Their roles suit them as well. Deep line playmaker and ball-winning midfielder as standard. Balogun on the left wing, Ferdy on the right wing. He's back on the wings for this game. Shus Alba will retain his place in attacking midfield with Peter Lynch up front. So I'm hoping this time for a much better result against Bournemouth. We played them in an episode earlier this season and we lost 1-0 to them late on at their place. Hopefully we will correct that today, try and get a result against them. As much as we're still promoted at the moment, this game will still matter for us per se, because we do want to win the championship title. I'm actually yet to win a trophy in this entire save. So it would be nice to at least lift one trophy, and if it's the championship title to start with, then so be it, as we've already got a highlight early on and given the ball away early on. But Balogun, I thought he won that back there, but he's just unfortunate he has won it. He's very persistent, is Balogun. Not just a goal scorer, is he? He's not just a lethal finisher. And there is Lynch, who should have finished that. He has been a lot more clinical than that this season. This is Lynch's best season, actually, as a player. For someone who's 19 years old, he's thankfully going strength to strength. Over 20 goals for me so far this season, and hopefully he'll be a very good force in the Premier League. He's already operating at Premier League quality, apparently. And there is Balogun. Oh, and just very good save there, actually. He has powered many of those shots in so far this season. But thankfully, as a wonder kid, still a wonder kid, even at 19, which is good to see, he is developing very nicely. Of course, he's very, very happy that we were promoted. It was one of the promises I had originally given him, as Alba plays the ball through to Lynch, and there is Lynch who shoots right into the side netting. We are getting the chances. but we're just not putting them away at the moment. So I've noticed Norwich do this every now and then. There are times they're going to be very, very lethal. They have been very lethal in front of goal, and then there are times they're just so wasteful. And we need to make sure we are a lot more clinical in the Premier League. And there is Aarons. He's very, very happy to stay, by the way. And he hit the bar first of all, and he's offside for the rebound. How can he be offside, by the way, against himself? He hit the bar first. Oh, right, he was offside anyway. Right. I was going to say, he hit the bar, and then the ball ricocheted back to him. He was offside anyway. Never mind. But yes, Max Aarons has declared he's very, very happy to stay at Norwich. That was just before we got promoted. So hopefully he will be a Premier League player for us next season. And I was thinking, yeah, Balogun had a goal disallowed after 28 minutes. I just remembered. And there is Alba. He's just won the ball back very high up the pitch there. And Ferdy, only his 9th goal of the season. Very surprising. But he is more of a creator and a flair player than he is an actual goal scorer. So it's nice to see him on the score sheet every now and then. But it's a poor kick out from Chris Mepham, who is on my scout reports, by the way, as a 4-star accountability player at centre-back. He didn't show it there, and thankfully Shas Alba playing it through to Lynch, playing it through to Ferdy, back of the net. It's not very often Ferdy, as I mentioned, gets on the score sheet, but Lynch, on the other hand, not only does he score, he creates quite a lot of chances for other players. I think he's got about 9-10 assists so far now this season. Again, wonder kid, Lynch. Oh, he just smacks the bar, good grief, and he's got that in his locker as well. It is the Peter Lynch show in this game so far, and I'm all for it. Shas Alba with the corner, and it's straight into the keeper's hands. I was going to say, where was Mavropanos in that? Vargas actually should be in that as well. And just off the line, we are knocking on the door. And I thought he hit the post again. Oh, it's a save by the keeper. Good grief. Make the goals a little bit wider, and then we'll score a hatful more goals. Mavropanos, not to the ball this time. I think Chris Mepham is marking him, and I think he is a giant of a defender himself. As Aaron's doing a left-back's job, I question where Gonzalez is in that one, but he's probably on the other side of the pitch up front. And Alba is starting to tire a little bit quicker compared to some of the other players. Alzate is on the bench. I might give him a little bit of time. Goodness knows he owes me a performance, as is. And yeah, I believe Mepham is a very, very tall player, which is probably cancelling out Mavropanos up front. Unfortunately, he's not exactly doing his job at the back, is he? Because Bournemouth have just equalised. And Harvey Elliott had the time in the world. He had the freedom of Norwich in this one. Montiel with the assist. And, wow, was slow on the turn a little bit. Maybe. You know what? We are going to bring Alzate on. Because Shas Alba's just had so much game time, which is good for him, but at the same time he's 20 years old. I don't want to break the poor boy. Angelo Stiller is also going to come on for Davenport in that ball-winning midfielder role. Again, I've mentioned this before. Where is he? Why has he not come on? Oh, there he is, Angelo Stiller. I was looking in the wrong place. But yes, Angelo Stiller, he's been a nice surprise so far this season. And we're going to bring on Joe Willock as well. He's going to come on for Balogun on the left-hand side. When Willock plays well, he does score, but it's not as often as I would probably like, to be honest with you. And there are quite a few tired players out there now. And I think this one is going to peter out to a draw, which I know we're at home, but it's a complete improvement on the way we performed against Bournemouth last time out. It's a shame we didn't get the win, but it keeps us 6 points clear at the top of the league. Mavropanos and Aarons are demotivated. So's Lynch. Yo, guys. Guys. Why are you demotivated against drawing against Bournemouth? Okay, I just saw the irony in that. But still, we should be trying to win these games. You're more than good enough. And as you can see, 6 points clear of Bournemouth with 8 games to go. And I'm just thinking, when we come back next time for the next episode, I'm going to try and come back this time for when we could possibly seal the title. Assuming we don't blow it, but I hope we can win the title. And I'll come back for the game where we could actually seal it. It could be somewhere in April, it could be the last 2 games of the season. But we'll be showing one more episode this season before we get to the summer transfer window and the season review. If you've enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit the like button down below and click subscribe for more Football Manager content. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope to see you all again in the next video. Stay safe out there and stay happy.